Welcome to Utopia. Favored ones, come on in and take a seat at the round table, and we will get into your reading. I'm Kymmy, and today's topic, I was hearing a message from my guys saying, "Ooh, off-roading! Now it's an adventure." So I also picked out an aquamarine crystal here for you as a crystal to go along with the reading. Aquamarine is also known as the breath stone. So I'm hearing that you are a breath of fresh air, and it was also used as protection for sailors when they were going on a long voyages. They were known to carry them with them, which is awesome. I love that. You're going to be going on a long voyage, maybe going on tours, like especially with the main message being off-roading. Now, this is also the stone for breath stone because it alleviates sinus and lungs and respiratory problems. Like when you have bronchitis or hay fever and allergies, you could be getting over all of that stuff and starting to feel better. So now that you can go, like traveling and stuff, maybe you weren't able to travel for a while because you weren't feeling well. I'm happy that you are on the mend, and if not, plenty of fluids and get as much rest as possible. Of course, I know the days still go by and you have to, you know, get accustomed to that and getting back to your routine, um, and taking days off and stuff like that. But for like aquamarine as well, being a breath of fresh air and the um, protection, I'm feeling that you are very protected at this time. It is a Pisces stone. You can be Piscean. Hello, fellows. Pisceans. I am a sun sign myself. You don't have to be, though. It could be anywhere in your chart. It does not have to be your sun sign to resonate with the messages. That's just extra confirmation. Cute little coinky dink. If you like dirt gently, Yeah, so let's get into it. They were also notable for jewelry. So you could be getting your company, your business in order and making shipments with all the traveling, like voyages and stuff like that. So you could be someone who makes crystal jewelry because of the crystal and voyages. You could be making a lot of sales at this time and sending out postals for packagings out to the customers that you have, and your clientele is growing. I'm hearing if you're off-roading, yeah, you could be setting up a stand on the side of the road with like a permit. Like I'm hearing like those cherry farmers market stands. You could be traveling to go get food for yourself until you can have a yard big enough and room enough to have your own garden, or even if you just aren't able-bodied anymore and you still want to treat your body with nutritious and locally farmed foods, you're traveling to farmer markets for that, to buy goods and services. It's bringing me this image and it wants me to say it. Throat activation is happening for you as well with the respiratory and sinuses and stuff. You could have went through a great awakening of your throat chakra alignment, finally speaking out on things that you may have not felt comfortable speaking on before. Getting through it. There was some therapeutic times that you needed to lay to rest, and so that you could have that breath of fresh air. You've made it to the surface is what I'm hearing, and your ancestors want to congratulate you on that, and I want to congratulate you as well. It's not easy laying that burden down so that you can breathe, letting go of the sinking ship so that you can surface, you don't always have to go down with the ship. Some of you could be a captain, maybe my captain. Um, but yeah, with the alleviation of your respiratory and stuff like that, it's also making me think that you, being the breath stone, that you are working on your breath work. For if you're a singer, or dancing as well, you're just in some sort of sport, or you're just using breath work to meditate and center yourself and really work on your physical and mental, um, state of well-being. It's really cool that they stated that. But yeah, breath work, you could be going and getting speech therapy, whether that's, for any kind of reason, really. Going to a music teacher, you could be thinking about going to a music teacher or dancing lessons. I'm really feeling like you're being more spontaneous. You're learning the things that you didn't get to learn as a child. You're living out those childhood dreams. Maybe you've been too rigid before in the past with what was, kind of gatekeeping yourself from doing things a certain way because it wasn't considered professional, or like instead of going, you maybe this resonates with someone, but they're giving me the example of being taught by a teacher, an art teacher, your whole life, and not being able to feel like you were doing as good, like as living up to the expectations that you had given yourself, that were never to be reached because you were comparing and compete. Comparing is the the thief of joy. So you're letting that go. And like, if you've only ever performed like in a high class society, or only ever performed in your shower, whatever, it could be both sides of the coin, right? Take it as it resonates. But like, I'm feeling like if you've only ever sang in the shower, or you've only ever sang for choir at a, wearing clothes that you were told to uniformly, and you're able to express yourself. You're going off stage, like you're going off-roading. Now it's an adventure. You could be busking, and this could be dancing or singing out and trying to see what you can make from, like, make people smile going down the street. You're like, I want to be more personable. It's like you've only ever done operas and musical theater, and you don't really get to communicate with your whole audience after. Like, you have a meet and greet and everything, but it's different. I don't know. For me, I feel like it's kind of different getting to go out there and see everyone who may feel like they're stuck in the matrix, and you pull them out for a moment, just a moment, get them a little bit off that road that was paved for them to, hustle and bustle and work, and they just get a moment to breathe and laugh and see you living, and you're sparking their joy, like a match, like a torch. You're passing that torch of, like Prometheus, you're passing over that little spark of passion, and really bringing them to, that inner child, to sparking them. You're sparking it up. That could be like you, you like to smoke the gronk as well. That's a, uh, either way. Um, it's giving me like dune buggies though as well, for like, we're off-roading now, so you may build your own buggies. You may find passion, like I was saying, like sparking, like, because it reminds me of welding and, working on soldering irons and everything else like that, like with jewelry, but also with like building cars. Passion, you could have passion about building cars, uh, you know, collecting longboards, going mountain biking. Like it could be anything off road. And I just feel that you're very athletic, or there's also the thing where we're like skiing and snowmobiling, zip lining, horseback riding, rock climbing, but like you're getting off road. And like it reminded me when I was talking about like the example for going from being only in a band and now you're going solo, or you were in a duo rap crew and now you're doing it on your own. uh it's going off the script as well. And a lot of you could be writing for fun instead of writing, um, you know, could have been a writer, a ghostwriter for someone else, and you're learning to write for yourself. That could be a message for someone there. Um, but I feel more so that you're starting to write for the fun of it, not because you're like trying to, of course you want to make sales and stuff, but you're allowing yourself to make that first draft, and writing doesn't have to be perfect. You're just letting it flow. And that's what I mean, like off script. You're trying to write the best bars you've ever written ever, and someone's gonna be like, yeah, I write hot bars fuck every time. And that's fine. You can do that. But if you're writing a song, just writing, I feel like you're allowing yourself. That's what you're doing. You're giving yourself permission to write it, to just write, to just play sports and go out on your trike and your bikes, your three-wheelers, four-wheelers, whatever. Your last name could be Wheeler. Um, but like allowing yourself to just go off that beaten path. Maybe there was others showing you that there was their path to success, and that blueprint might be old. That might not be the same way that you find success nowadays. That may not be the way you find success personally, and that's okay. Giving yourself permission to go your own way and not allow others to like dictate what you're going to do with your life. Like absolutely take in their to consideration their um advice and their experience that they've let you know, so that wise people can make decisions based on what other people have gone through. And you can take a little bit of everything and you could take none of it at all. And I just want to let you know that you're allowed to give yourself permission to do that. You can 100% hear people out, and that goes for us as well. I know it can be a bit frustrating, especially if they start being an asshole. If they're being an asshole, then no. And that's where you're like, they're asking you 100% like, how do I do this? And then they don't follow your advice, and then they come back and ask again, and you're like, bro, same advice. Just do the thing. If you just want to hear like your self-talk in the same situation, and we're not doing loops over here, okay? But yeah, like I'm hearing like rock climbing yourself out of a situation. Like you manage when there's like no path at all, right? When you're rock climbing, there's no path at all. Like sometimes there is, like if you're going into the thing, or if someone's go into um the gym or wherever it is, what they're called. I don't know. At the moment, I can't remember. But if you're going to uh, tour locations where they go every single time to the same spot and have a tour guide bring you up, and it's probably going to have somewhat of a path, but learning how to do it with them, and then over time doing it yourself somewhere else is so chef's kiss. Finally taking those training wheels off and allowing yourself to, be able to go to places that you couldn't before with your training wheels on. It's just really cool. But with the thumbnail, I picked that there's two different paths and stuff, and it reminds me of Anastasia in the movie cartoon anyway. Don Bluth. Oh, really love the artwork for those movies. Anastasia decided at the beginning, some of you may be orphans as well, or just estranged from your family, or have very strong boundaries up against them, whether this is for you or your child and dealing with the other partner that you had with. I feel like, that could be resonate for some of you. But back to the original statement of her going the opposite way, right? She was supposed to go to the Fishport, so some of you could be work on the wharf, but that wasn't the way for her. It was good for everyone else who was meant to be a fisherman, but she had a bigger destiny and a different road to go on, right? Not that it was a bigger destiny than theirs, but a bigger destiny than the one that was set out for her, right? A lot of, which brings around the protection of the sailors, right? And she asked, if this is the way I'm supposed to go, can you please show me a sign? And the dog showed up, which is Puka, which means a trickster familiar, if you didn't know, so that it like shapeshifts and stuff, and shape. This is headcanon for me anyway, but that was what led her through all of the protection, and it was a trickster familiar, that shape-shifting familiar energy, not good or bad, and just like really protected her and brought her, because that's the reason why she's like, okay, I guess this is the message, I'm meant to go this way, because Puka started pulling her in that direction, which I just found was really cool, that some of you may connect with the trickster archetype for your deities, and they may resonate with you on that one, with Goddess. Yeah, like Loki, Asani, Coyote. There's a lot of them to resonate with. Werewolves could resonate with you as well, or Lendon. And it's also Puka, like the other spelling. It relates to shells, so shells could be very important to you. You could be making shells into your artwork, whether it's on a canvas, whether you're going to go collect them. I love doing that. That's amazing. Let me know down below what's your favorite shell. But I love going out and collecting them. They're a lot of fun. And yeah, you could be going off-road, going down, taking the trike and whatever through the mountain, and picking up through the ocean side, wherever you're at, looking for cool rocks, hagstones, and shells, and just you find a collection and bring home a souvenir wherever you go. Could be something you do. It reminds me of my great grandpa. He would pick a rock everywhere he went, and he would tumble them. So some of you may tumble rocks. That's super cool and fun. I love doing that. My brain's audiently telling me from the trike when I said skidoo, skidoos, trikes and bikes, gazebo unit likes to fight. So some of you may be from Newfoundland, may resonate with that, or have like Celtic, Irish background, whether it's a step family or what have you. You could have traveled far away from there, or you could have had a tour where you're going around as a musician as well, not just a tour guide, because you could be going on the trike, well, on a tour guide. I know they do that down in Cancun. So some of you could have went to Cancun or the Dominican Republic. Some of you may be from there as well, or have family history from there. But off-roading, and I'm also thinking like with the off-stage, like off the runway as well. A lot of you could be doing fashion shows outside of venues. Instead, you're like making everywhere your fashion runway. You are dressing to success, and everywhere is your runway. Whether you're covered in mud, wearing your like whatever fashion, I feel like you are the shapeshifter as well. You are able to adapt to different communities. You really fit in everywhere. That's why you're a breath of fresh air, is how how you connect with people with ease. You put people at ease. You're not causing them dis-ease. You're putting them at ease. A lot of you could have been in the military as well. But yeah, with the dune buggy drag races and runways, so you could be doing drag racing and you're just doing drag without doing the race. So like doing book reading with you could be someone of the 2S LGBTQIA plus community, and you could be an author, and you're putting your book out there for people to see, right? And for others, you're coming out. It is Pride Month, so happy coming out if you're coming out. You could be wearing, clothes that you're most comfortable with, and that are gender affirming for you at this time as well. And not just, you're feeling comfortable to go outside of your home where you may only just dress up at home, but now you're exploring out. And yeah, affirming yourself. And I'm proud of you. Congratulations. That's epic. That may not resonate with everyone, and that's fine. Whoever the message is for, they will receive it, and I love you. But yeah, being more spontaneous. It's reminding me of like back in when we were like kids, you would want to do something with your friend, and you would bike over there and just knock on the door and ask if they could come out and play, right? So I feel like a lot of you are stepping back into the energy of like, oh, but I'm tired, oh, but I'm this, and like putting negative affirmations over yourself, and you're stepping more into positive affirmations like, I have time, I have the energy, I'm worth, and my friends are worth keeping a rapport and making time for, right? And not allowing the hustle culture and late stage capitalism to wear you down, which is like what it's built for. But you are rising above that. You're taking that breath of fresh air and sharing it with others. Another thing that I'm thinking of as well, for like with four-wheelers and stuff, you guys might like drive dirt bikes or BMXs, and because that came up for me too when I thought about the longboarding and such. A lot of you can be making your own ramps. Some of you may build ramps or stages. That's coming up as well. And of course, with three-wheelers, I'm thinking of Halo, because like they had the they got I know that no, they do have them. I remember. But yeah, you becoming the master of it, and it's like reminding me of shooting. So some of you could be paintball gunning and such. Like I said, with the military, you might actually be setting off actual things, but I'm getting more so Blizzard Activision. So you are playing video games that you haven't usually played, that you thought that you may not be good at, such as shooters. Maybe you weren't as comfortable with first-person video games, and you're really stepping outside of your comfort zone because your friend or coworker wants to play with you, and you're being spontaneous, and you're like, yeah, I guess I will try that. You're trying out new things, and you know that you don't always have to, be so serious, like think that everything has to be for success, and why not fun, and that's what I'm getting overall, is like, why not fun? Yeah. Ace of Cups. So the fountain of youth, divine intervention, and divinely guided. You could also have 5 streams of incomes coming in, and spirits bringing in a little extra there. You could be getting a lot of donations for your channel. That's the winner's cup right there. You getting W's. You got W's. It could be your 6th win is coming in. Like if you've done battle rapping or you've done racing, like I said with the dune buggies and stuff. They're giving me the image of those tractors that have really, really souped up engines in it as well. Either way, I'm seeing that it's being, you're winning that trophy. You're getting those dubs. I'm getting Prince, like, why do doves cry? So I feel like the universe is giving you a reason not to cry anymore over a situation that was emptying your cup instead of filling it. And you're learning to hold back energy from people who are not being reciprocal of that energy. You're learning which ones are, oh yeah, knowing which ones are just trying to drain you. Having discernment is learning the lesson before it's over, right? No, not needing your whole cup to be drained before you realize that I shouldn't be in this relationship anymore. Not allowing the lost cause fallacy to play tricks on you. It's giving me the imagery of the Pythagoras's cup, where it was designed for if people were trying to be greedy and guzzle all of the person who was putting on the feast as wine. So if people are coming over and eating you out of house and home, I'm hearing, or they always want you to smoke them up, but they never smoke you up back. Stuff like that. I'm really seeing you're like, these are fake relationships. They just want, what song is that? Either way, they just want what you can do for them. They don't want, like, to actually invest in you, which you are worth investing in. It's mutual investment. And like inside of the cup, if you start drinking it too much, it would pour out the bottom, just all of it, completely gone. So I'm feeling like those who are trying to steal your energy are depleting themselves even faster than if they were to just work on filling their own cups. So people who are trying to drink from your cup are just depleting themselves. It reminds me maybe some of you need to cut back on energy drinks and coffee, or finding a more natural source of it, with less sugars and aspartames and such. Uh, Based on if you drink energy drinks and stuff like that, you aren't actually getting extra energy. You're depleting yourself of your natural energies, um, and electrolytes, and just pulling from that energy later, and then you crash harder. And I feel like that's could be a message for some of you here, is that, that Spirits proud of you for recognizing that, and if you haven't yet, that they're encouraging you, and know that it won't be an overnight thing, so give yourself grace. It could be episodes that you're putting out to stream as well. So you're getting a W on your streams. You're getting a lot of views. Your name could start with a W as well, your first or last name initial, and also middle name for those who have one. Six of Inspirations. You are becoming your own spotlight. You are claiming for yourself that you are a star. Some of you could be becoming a part of a sisterhood. You could be, for those who aren't getting off the stage, those who have never gone on the stage and have only ever been busking, of course, it's the path untaken. So even though it may be, a paved path, off-roading, now it's an adventure. But if all you've ever done is off-roading and you've only ever skated, oh, yeah, it's giving me Ice Princess, the movie, where you've only ever skated on a pond and it's really rickety and it's not smooth or anything else like that. Spirit wants to come through and smooth things out for you. The path may have been bumpy for a while, but your spirit guides want you to know that it is smooth sailing from here, because the male protagonist, boyfriend dude who drove the Zamboni. So someone in your family or you may have drove a Zamboni, or you're just really into hockey, or figure skating, of course. But it's giving me the message, nevertheless, where she went from skating on a pond to skating for nationals and competitively on real ice that's smooth. And she's like, I've never skated on something that smooth before. So if you're going from busking and being on a real stage and a good sound system and everyone's eyes are on you, and you're really just taking that in, you're basking instead of busking in the sunshine, in the limelights. Some of you could be making lines, or adding citrus to your diet, to dietary needs. But yeah, that's so cool. You're basking in your own creative expression and spontaneous. Maybe you weren't planning to go on stage because you had a certain plan and you wanted to have a certain timeline and you wanted this many songs for your set and all of them to match, and you had the opportunity to go on stage to dance, or you got an opportunity but you had to go to another province to do it, and or another state to do it, and you decided, normally you were like, I need to prepare for this, I don't know if I want to do it right away, and you're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it. Yes, I will get on that stage. I will do it. And I love how that the stage is like in the canyon. Like behind her, the person there, there's a cannon. So you could be flying over the mountains as well, or the Grand Canyon. You're a mystery as well because we still don't know what caused the Grand Canyon. I believe anyway. I could be wrong, but I think I was reading that it was like a mystery. Like they keep it under locks and wraps, and that's why we're not allowed in there. I think there's a whole big supernatural thing connected to it, besides, the Thunderbird. But yeah, you're decorating yourself in the silver linings. If you can see, there's like silver dots going around everywhere. You are decorating yourself in the silver lining. You're trimming yourself. You could be getting a haircut as well, like a Christmas tree or a Yule tree. Yeah, you may celebrate the equinoxes. They could be very important to you. And sixes could be important to you as well. So June, the month of June could be really important for you, or if you are not watching this in June, which it is right now, as all readings are timeless, then like the next month from now, I feel like it will be really important for you for stepping into your becoming comfortable in the next zone. When everyone's like always talking about like step outside of your comfort zone, and you do, and then you get comfortable and you step outside again. I feel like you're just enjoying for right now being at the level that you are before you ascend again. I feel like you've sat in that energy and enjoyed the level, and you're ready to step out of your comfort zone again, but this time you're stepping out with confidence. It's like some of you may have backup dancers even there, but they kind of look like creepy, spooky skeletons. um, but yeah, a lot of people may have you've brought your skeletons out. You've shined a light on them. You're not afraid of them. You're not afraid of people knowing your skeletons and they're not even in your closet. You shine the light on your skeletons and maybe other ones as well. You could have been the one who done it for your family line. And that's how you're going off the beaten path off road, because no one's ever, shined the light on the family's skeletons. They've always swept it up under the rug, and you threw the rug on and as a shawl, and you're like, I shall not dim my light or hide this any longer. We are going to bring it out. Like your ancestors could have been in the background, and you're like, here is my ancestors, and here are the skeletons and what has happened, what I've done. I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. Living in the past is a new generation. And like, Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Ain't gonna do what you want to do. Yes, I know Joan, not because of Shrek, but it still is Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Yeah, I really love that. It's also like, it reminds me of when you're in the dressing room, right? And you have the lights all on you and stuff. So you're getting ready and you're decking yourself up and getting ready to go out on stage. And maybe you do speak out on finding your ancestors as well. It's reminding me of like the slogan of like, check the landfills and when they were finding all of the schools that had the missing indigenous children, I feel like you're not allowing them to you're shining a light on it. You're not allowing them to forget and sweep it underneath the rug either. And you're allowing your ancestors to speak through you. You're allowing them to see you shine when they were hidden, and they get to see you survive and thrive and live and shine and wear your hair long if you want to, and dance and celebrate, and rituals that you weren't allowed to do, um, traditional ceremonies that you weren't allowed to do, the this all of it you weren't allowed to do until recently, and still even shamed for now. They get to see you do that unapologetically, and they love watching you shine. They're like that. They're your backup. They're like standing there like the backup, like the muses. Um, 0 to hero, without a fact. 0 to hero. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk it that you would get to be shine so brightly for them, and you take them all with you. Oh, and it's 6 and 6. You carry the 7 generations and the 7 descendants with you everywhere as you shine, and they get to shine with you. Oh, that's so amazing. I hope you enjoyed the reading and my clairaudient messages and the visions that came through as well. Clairvoyance. I hope you enjoyed all of them. I hope that the message. I really enjoyed reading your energy. Oh, it's so powerful. You're so powerful. Okay, I can't even finish the reading yet because I'm like, oh, so in awe. You are a breath of fresh air. Okay. At my donation link below, I'm working towards my podcast, and I will update you as it updates. And I appreciate every single one of you and your comments and liking and subscribing, of course. And remember to eat, hydrate, rest, and have fun, favorite ones. Bye. Oh, it didn't do it. See, I told you. You're so powerful. Okay? There's nothing that can stop you, okay? Love you all. Okay, enjoy your life. Bye.